Morning. Welcome back. Why don't you guys ever like the live streams? I don't know. Good question. Welcome back, guys. Happy Friday. What a day. What a day yesterday, huh? Crazy. Did not expect that one. Definitely did not expect that one. How'd everyone do yesterday? We catch any moves? Any big moves? Morning. Happy Friday. Morning, guys. St. Patrick's Day, right? Yeah, today's St. Patrick's Day, isn't it? Happy St. Patrick's Day. Meta was just a little bit interesting yesterday. Nvidia, man. My God. Yeah, Nvidia shares we were in before it was cool. If you guys are a long-term live stream watcher, you know semiconductors, that's always been the spot for me. Semiconductors, that was always the move, in my opinion, for the long term. Back in October of last year, before it was cool. It's nothing, yeah. Nvidia's, that's my girl right there. Yeah, Nvidia trade yesterday with the group. If you guys caught that, that was sweet. Well, live trade yesterday on Nvidia. Really, really nice pullback entry yesterday. Didn't hold it, for the big move. It's it's one of those. Yesterday was one of those moves, and we'll get a little bit into that. I'll talk a little bit about the Nvidia trade and the move, and overall the emotions of a move like that yesterday. Because it's just impossible to come into the day and expect something like that. And if you didn't catch the whole thing, you can't be upset because it's just never going to happen. So, all right, let's get started. So, welcome back, guys. Happy Friday. Oh, we're a little blurry. She's there we go. What a move yesterday. What a trade yesterday. On Nvidia, Apple was nice. A lot of nice trades out there. So let's see what happens today. Today could be a little bit difficult, right? Because today's the day where a lot of people come into the trading day and just want to play upside, right? You just want to come into the day, look for upside after seeing yesterday's move. It's potentially dangerous, right? We can't come into today expecting the same thing to happen, right? We have to be careful of supply levels that could reject today, some major levels above on the S&P 500. So yes, yesterday was sweet, right? Upside was awesome. Long-term portfolio was screaming. Really nice upside trades, but today we can't come in with that same mentality, because if we come in with that same mentality, just think that we're just going to move up, it's potentially going to hurt us, right? And we don't want to end Friday that way. So let's see what happens. Let's watch the levels. As always, the story is the same every single day. Yesterday was textbook levels. Textbook pullback to demand on the Nasdaq. Textbook hold of 3,900 on the ES. The demand levels that we talked about yesterday held pretty much perfectly in the morning, and that really lined up the rest of the day. So let's look for the levels once again, like we always do, and let's just trade it like another day. All right, so let's get started. Today, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day. We're going to do the earnings economic calendar. Nothing on the earnings calendar. I don't think much on the economic either. I think you got some normal Friday stuff. Nothing crazy here. Industrial production, capacity utilization, U.S. leading economic index, consumer sentiment at 10 a.m. maybe has something, but really nothing there. On the economic, we could keep an eye out for that 10 o'clock consumer sentiment. Just be aware of that. But besides that, nothing crazy. Yeah, you did have FedEx earnings. We could take a quick peek at that during the stream as well. But yeah. So Nvidia, AMD, obviously we need to be looking at these. The move yesterday, and I talked about this to the group, the move yesterday on Nvidia and AMD, you might want to stay away from it today. It's a very, very major move. It's difficult, right? It's difficult to try to continue to look for upside on a move like that on Nvidia and AMD. They've broken many rejection points. There's really no support below. There's really nothing to play off of, and I'll sort of talk you through those charts today. I might stay away from them today. I have them in my long-term portfolio. For me personally, if they just rally again today, I'll be more than happy if I don't trade it with options. I have a ton of shares that I've been adding, as you guys know, every single week of last year, buying the dip, holding it for, the entire year. So I'm in a position where I took advantage of all last year, buying shares, and now I'm just sort of letting things roll. So we'll see what happens. If it continues higher, I'll sort of talk through some levels here on AMD and Nvidia, but just be a little bit cautious, right? The people that aren't disciplined today are just going to run to Nvidia and AMD and start buying calls because they think it's going to go up again. And I don't know if that's for sure what we should be thinking, right? We have to be careful as traders, coming into a day and thinking that way. So let's pump the brakes on Nvidia, AMD, I think, a little bit, and just be very cautious on those. I think it might be better to look for some plays that did not move as much and maybe for a catch-up trade. That's sort of my mindset as of right now. So Tesla is one of those catch-up trades. Tesla did move a little bit yesterday. It did break a 182.50 supply. This might be a nice catch-up trade if the market's strong again, and maybe some weakness out of AMD and Nvidia after a huge move. Maybe there's a little bit of a catch-up trade. I'm watching Tesla at this 186. Apple triple top. This is also a very interesting level today. Netflix 316. Microsoft, huge push yesterday watching this. Google was an awesome 97.50 retest. We perfectly explained that in the live stream yesterday. It was a perfect retest play. And then finally, Meta is another watch for me at 202. All right. So those are the tickers that we're going to look at. Let's get into the Nasdaq. SIVB just announced bankruptcy. That's interesting. I saw that. I still have 100 shares short of SBNY. I wonder if these stocks trade today. I wonder if these stocks open for trading today. SIVB and SBNY are still halted. I wonder if they trade. Maybe they try to open them on this Friday or maybe sometime next week. But yeah, I'm still short. Just waiting for this thing to open. So anyways, let's get started. Nasdaq. Nasdaq's a little tough. It's a little tough today, and here's why I say this. So here's the 4-hour chart on the Nasdaq, right? And you guys can see we made a big breakout, right? And this breakout can be a little bit difficult to trust, right? It can be a little bit difficult to get a real good entry on something like this. So you can see big 4-hour candle, big straight up move through this 12,500 area, this previous low, right? You can see we had a previous low here that we sort of rallied right above. Previous low here, rallied right above that, previous high right here, and we just sliced right through it, right? We sliced right through it into this double top right here, right? So we know there is supply above here on the Nasdaq around this 12.8. So yes, the move was crazy strong yesterday, but are we going to buy calls at a double top supply? No, right? We can't get too aggressive on calls here. At this 12.8 double top supply on the Nasdaq. So could there be, a nice little pullback here? Should there be a pullback? Do I want to see a pullback? Yes. All right. I want to see a pullback on the Nasdaq. I want to get another retest somewhere and then look for a long again. I don't want to really long this at 12.8 double top supply. So a little bit tricky today, right? I know the sentiment might be strong. I know the tech market has been hot. But we have to be aware of this 12.8 double top supply here today. We can't ignore that. So in between, right, in between 12.5 and 12.8, you guys can see there's really nothing to play off of, right? This is just a straight up move that there is no really any strong retest levels that I really want to play off of. The one area that I am watching, and I'll go to the 5-minute chart, here's my sort of short-term intermediary levels that I am going to be monitoring today, all right? And these are going to be hard to trust until we see some reactions at them. So the first one I'm watching today, as we approach today's trading day, is this 12,700 level. Now, this 12,700 level has a little bit of demand from yesterday here, a little bit of support in the pre-market, and you can see right recently over the last few minutes, a little bit of support there as well. So the first level I'll be watching here this morning on the Nas is 12,700. Do we hold it or do we flush below? We'll see what happens there early morning. If we flush below 12,700, right, if we don't hold this, let's say we start to reject it, your next move would likely be back into this 12,630, 12,600. That's this previous low. That's this previous consolidation from midday yesterday, right? So a little bit of consolidation midday yesterday. You can see right here. This is around 1, 2 o'clock. We held this 12,630, 12,600 zone. So if we break below this 12,700, I would assume that the Nasdaq trades pretty quickly back into this 12,600, 12,630 area. If we break below 12,600 today, right? If we pull back below 12,600, I think this could give up this move. This is very possible. You guys can see right here. That's a pretty much straight up move from yesterday. It could give that up. So we have to stay vigilant, I guess is the right word, to these areas and to the fact that yesterday's move was pretty much vertical. And it's hard to trust vertical moves because there's not much structure here yesterday. There's some short-term structure points around 12.6, 12.7, but besides that, right, this move here under 12.6 is pretty much vertical. And I don't expect the market to hold as support in a vertical move. So we have to be cautious of that. Now, let's say, right, that's the cautious scenario, right? 12.8 supply here, 12.7 demand short term, 12.6 demand short term, right? So watching these three levels here if we get pullbacks. The strong move, right? If the market does rally again, let's say the Nasdaq is strong again. Let's say we get another big move. You know, it's hard for me to see, but who knows, right? We can't ignore we can't weigh out possibilities. So let's say the Nasdaq rallies again today. If the Nasdaq breaks and holds over 12.8, if we break and hold over this double top high and this 12.8 supply, you're probably going to start to rally towards that 12.950, 12.900. So I'm thinking if you get this, right, if I zoom out and I go to the hourly chart, if you start to see this market get over 12.8 and start to hold above it, right, you probably have a move towards this next high right here, 12.950. You guys can see that high right here. So that would be the bullish move, right? If you can get over 12.8, if you can maintain 12.8, then maybe you can rally towards that 12.950. That's a crazy move. It's possible. The market can do anything at once, so we have to prepare for that possibility. But I would rather see a pullback maybe towards this 12.630, 12.600, and then see if we can hold demand here, right? Either that 12.7 or that 12.6, 12.600. So that's sort of what I'm watching today. But again, I'll tell you, I'll be 100% honest. These are not levels that date back to any extent, right? Let me make that very clear. These levels are just some short-term levels that held yesterday on this rally. These are not levels that have much significance when you look at a 4-hour chart here, right? This is sort of just a channel, so we have to be a little bit cautious here. We have to be very cautious here at this 12.8 supply. All right? So that's that. Let's go to the ES. ES. Happy Days is probably so short and underwater so much right now. Goodbye. I'm not going to have people that think they know what's going to happen in this chat. That's not the people I want here. If you think you know what's going to happen, out. Go somewhere else. If you're not going to play off levels, if you're just going to try to predict the market, out. All right. So, hourly chart on the ES. 40.10, 40.20. We know that's major supply, right? You guys can see right here. Major supply on the ES here, right here. Major supply 40.10, 40.20. Major supply 40.10, 40.20. Major supply, you can see it's rejecting once again. And we know, right, on top of that, we know that the S&P 500 is much weaker than the Nasdaq, right? We know that the sectors that are in the S&P, such as the financials, such as the energy sector, have been weak, right? So we have to be cautious of an ES move not being as strong as the Nasdaq. That's why the Nasdaq rallied a significant amount, right, versus the S&P 500. So if we go to the hourly chart, once again, we can definitely see this supply that steps in, right? We can see right here. You can see supply rejections, supply rejections, supply rejections, and you can start to see that rejection setting in this morning. So be careful there, right? We can already start to see that rejection setting in. We can already start to see that downside coming in. Now, what are we watching today? It's pretty clear, right? What are we watching on the ES today? It is very clear. We are looking for a retest of 39.70 today. That is what should be on your watch. A retest of the previous channel highs. Does it turn into demand? This is also the 100 SMA right here on the S&P 500 futures, right? So if we get a pullback, watch that 39.70, right? That is going to be your main watch. Yesterday, intraday, right? We were targeting that 39.70. So here's yesterday intraday commentary. I would focus on how the ES builds at 39.70, right? That's around 12 o'clock. Then later in the day, around 3 o'clock, 39.70, starting to get that retest of that level, right? So that 39.70, even intraday yesterday, started to build a retest. So if I go to the 5-minute chart, look at this yesterday at 39.70. Pretty much a perfect midday pullback right into that retest level, and then you got your end-of-day continuation off that 39.70 retest. So today, you're looking for the same damn thing. You're looking to see if the ES pulls back to 39.70, does demand step in? And if demand steps in, watch for that upside move. Do not short into 39.70 today. You are shorting into a previous channel high. You are shorting into the 100 SMA. You do not want to short into 39.70 demand today. You want to see what happens at this level. If we pull back and we hold that level, that could be a potential long entry. If we pull back and we lose this level, this could be, this could be a give back. We could give this back, right? If we start to get weak under 39.70, we could possibly see the retest of around this 39.50, the 200 SMA, right? So 39.70, watch what happens at it this morning. Stay open to either side. Focus on the level. Focus on the price action at the level. See how the candles are forming here. That is going to really show you the next move on this market today. So I can't stress that enough. Seeing what happens at 39.70 today is very important. It's very important. Jay Price, good morning. Here's a coffee. Haha. Haha. He said GTFO. We don't need people like that here. I'm not gonna waste my time on that. I'm here to help people that want to learn, that want to focus on levels, that want to learn how to trade without a bias, that want to learn how to trade either way. I'm not here to entertain people that think they know what's going to happen in the market. So that was the ES. Now, the SPY. We're starting to lose this level a little bit. We're starting to lose that 239, 293.50, which is actually a little concerning here for the SPY. So you can see right here, these lows, this 200 SMA is right around 293. So yeah, I mean, if you start to see the SPY lose 293 this morning, if we start to turn that 200 SMA into a rejection, this could get a little weak here. This could get a little weak here, right? We're already starting to see a little bit of downside come in on the SPY under this 200 SMA. What's moving this? XLF, XLE a little weak. Yeah. What's the Nasdaq doing? A little bit of downside there. So yeah, this is big here. This is very important. If we start losing 393 and the 200 SMA, this is potentially going to fail right back under this channel. So be careful of this here. This is going to be big. 393. I don't know what I said, but yeah, 393. So if we lose that 393, 200 SMA, careful on this downside. You might be coming back to test this 391 here, this previous high, right? So 393, right? 200 SMA, watch that. Watch this 391. That's this previous high here. Look for that look for that support there. That's what I would watch on the ES, or I'm sorry, on the SPY. If you go to the 4-hour chart, we know, right? If we go to let's go 1 hour, right? We know there is some major supply above, which is exactly where we rejected today, right? You can see right here some major previous lows at that 398, and you can see, look at the rejection that came in this morning at 398. So 398, pretty heavy up here on the SPY. 200 SMA at 393 just was broken here in the pre-market. If we don't get back above that 393, you're probably looking at this 391 area, this previous high. All right. If you're trading under 393 on the SPY, you have to be a little bit cautious on the upside today, guys. All right. You don't want to trade upside into that 200 and then see a rejection at it. So I would say, in my eyes, for my trading personally, I am not that interested in upside if we are trading below the 200 SMA on the SPY, to be quite honest. I am definitely going to want that confirmation that the SPY is holding above the 200 for an upside play today. That'll make me a little bit more confident in any trade that I take if I know the SPY is maintaining the 200. As of right now, it's not really doing that. So watch out for that 200 on the SPY today. That's very important. All right. What did the Dow do yesterday? Yeah, Dow's coming down a little bit here as well. So the Dow just popped up into supply highs. Look at that. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty much a textbook supply high rejection, right? Pretty much perfect. The Dow did exactly what it was supposed to do, right? It held demand lows, pretty much the exact thing, right? Demand lows, pushed into supply highs, and now the Dow is rejecting supply highs. So can't say that this is not pretty much textbook price action here on the Dow. Channel low, channel high, demand, supply, right? Perfect. If the Dow loses, we're starting a little drop here. If the Dow loses this 32.2 area, watch out for that. You can see right here. This is that previous high. If we lose that, you might be looking at that demand low again. All right, so watch that 32.2. Yeah, it might be the bankruptcy news that's sort of fading this market a little bit right now. You can see XLF's dropping a little bit. XLE's dropping a little bit. Ulta, yeah, went down. It's still above 511 though. Let's relook at the ES here. Yeah, so look, ES is at 39.70 right now. This is big, right? This is big. If the ES can't hold this 39.70, this could get a little weak. That's a big level. Look at the SPYs flushing through that 200. Nasdaq just flushed that 12.7. So again, guys, right? This is what I was talking about early morning today. I don't really feel that confident on upside into this double top supply on the Nasdaq, right? This is very clear. We cannot long into these supply levels. It just does not make sense. So if you want to go long today, what you're seeing right now is exactly what you want, guys. So I know your human emotion is, oh God, the market's dropping. This is scary, right? I want to buy puts now. No, I mean, this is honestly what you want to see if you want to go long today. So you need this pullback. You just got to watch where this slows down and where the demand starts to step up. But you're not going to want, if you open here, this is exactly what you don't want as a bull. You do not want to open up here if you want to be bullish today, if you want to look for buys. You'll be buying into supply. So a pullback is actually quite good for bulls here today. You just got to see, does it really start to give up, or is there a retest level somewhere? That's really what you have to watch intraday, and that just comes down to your intraday analysis. So Russell, let's go to the 4 hour. Russell's been pretty damn weak. Russell really not getting any moves here, which is, I think, the right thing, right? I don't understand why the Russell should be strong at all right now. I'm very, I don't want to say against because I'm not against it, but this is just not a risk-on environment right now in the market, and small caps should not be strong, in my opinion. So it makes sense that the Russell's a little bit weaker here. I mean, who's going out and buying, these companies that just don't make money? These small cap companies, it's just not the right environment for that. Maybe back in 2020, or 2021, but not right now. So Russell 1800 to 1730, right? You can see it's still just stuck in this channel. It's still just stuck in this channel here. Look at this supply rejection, all right? And demand's down here, so same exact thing as we always talk about. All right, that's the futures, 39.70, right? This is still an hourly candle, so you didn't give this up yet. You still have to watch how this forms here. This could be, right? You have to think both ways. If this holds here into open, right, this could be the exact pullback that a bull is looking for. I'll start to maintain this 39.70, and then you get that little pop, right? So watch out for this 39.70. See how this candle forms. Keep an eye on this little demand area here. If it really starts to flush, you're probably looking at that 39.50 back at the 200 SMA. All right, so just keep an eye on these levels, 39.70, 39.50. All right? Make sure you're able to look at the market both ways today. Nvidia. So, yeah, I mean, this one's tough, right? Look, this is my daily chart over the last year, and there's just really nothing on it to even play off of. So you got to go back pretty far here on Nvidia. You got to go back pretty far, and you got to really, it's not the easiest chart to analyze here in the short term. So I'm going to delete some of these levels and just clean this up a little bit. I'm watching, right? We can definitely see supply up here at 267, right? We have a little bit of supply at 267 on Nvidia. So watch out for that, right? That's definitely where you don't want to be going long into 267. You had a little gap fill at 258.20. I'm actually going to put a line there. 258.20. A little bit of a gap fill level from back here. You guys can see right here. This was a little gap down. We just filled that. 258.20. That's the first time we filled it. So I think you're actually trading at that exact level right now. Yeah, so 258.20. I'm going to put a little bit of a line there. Just a little bit of a zone just to make sure I'm aware of that. That is a previous daily chart gap level right here that we filled, and now we're trading right at. Besides that, guys, I mean, really, the only level that I actually believe in is this level here. This is the only level that I actually have true trust in on a retest, 243, right? You can see after breaking that 243 yesterday, it was just a straight up move. So am I going to be the first in line to try to play upside on Nvidia today? No, I'm not, because the people that made money on Nvidia are the ones that went long yesterday. I was long at the exact low of day yesterday. I just did not wait it out and did not expect this type of move. So yesterday we took an awesome trade on Nvidia. I'll show you a little bit of what we did, right? Why we took this trade. We took a retest of the previous day supply, which was right around here, 239. We went long off 239 yesterday, and this was a sick trade, right? Rejection, support. 2 days ago, yesterday we pulled down to that level, held it perfectly, and we were long down here. I was scaling out into this move, and I fully scaled out right here, right? I fully scaled out right there. You know what? I'll actually just pull up the trade for us here. You guys can check it out. So here is yesterday's trades, and here is Nvidia. So yesterday, right? This hurts. I don't know why it looks like this. Hold on, let me fix this chart. There we go. So yesterday, right, you guys can see we were coming down into that 249 level, or 239. This is where I was getting into this position, adding this position down here, and then I just started to scale out as I usually do. Scaled, and then got a little bit of a loss here on one more contract that I added. I got out here at 245. Because we were getting into that supply zone, right? We were starting to get into that supply up here at this 245. I felt like I did the right thing to take profits, walk away with a nice $1,000 trade, but obviously look at the rest. I mean, it's just absolutely wild. So what I want to take away and what I want to talk about on a trade like this, and sort of the reason I bring that up, yesterday is a day that there is not a single trader out there that can probably, I mean, I would, if they're honest with themselves, which some people are not, you know, if you're honest with yourself, yesterday's not a day that you're going to catch the whole move. If you did, honestly, to be quite honest, if you did catch the whole move, if you caught the whole move yesterday with full size, let me reiterate this. if you caught the whole move yesterday with full size the entire time, you probably are not trading correctly, because long term, the moves like you saw yesterday are not going to happen a lot. They're not going to happen a lot, and holding out for a move like you saw yesterday will more than likely in the future cause you to give back profits and potentially turn red on positions. So if you held a runner yesterday, bravo to you, right? If you held a runner and you had a strategy that, showed you, hey, there's no reason to get out here, I'm just going to stay in. There's no reason to get out right now, then bravo to you. If you were scaling out, taking profits as the move went, held some runners, you killed it. But to hold an entire position yesterday without any scale outs, without any cash flow, and just sort of closing your eyes and letting it go, that's something I would be a little bit cautious of. Maybe be honest with yourself. Maybe I should take some profits off next time. But hey, it is what it is. I would just, be careful letting a day like yesterday googly eye you into thinking that this is going to happen a lot. This is a once in a few weeks, once in a few months type of move that we just rally all day. So just, I always like to be honest with myself as a trader. If I catch a big move like I did yesterday, I don't want to think that this is going to be a repeatable thing that I could just keep doing, right? So I want to make sure I be honest, make sure I keep my expectations low, make sure I continue to take profits on any move that I get in my favor, knowing that in the long term, if I take a 10-point scalp, if I take a 10% scalp, 15% scalp, and I can get that consistently, then that's something I can do. Am I going to go try to trade for 400% or 500% trades? Probably not. It's probably not going to happen very often. So a little bit of a tangent there, but I felt like it was necessary to give you some perspective into that move yesterday. So I hope you can take some value out of that. But anyways, Nvidia, you guys can see right here, this 258.20 level actually just held. That's that little gap fill level I just pointed out. So I'm not going to be that aggressive on Nvidia today. I'll watch some of these pullback levels, right? I'll watch some of these previous highs intraday. But yeah, it's just so extended, and I probably will just let my shares do their thing, right? So that's that. Watching 258.20, 255, 256. Besides that, might just let Nvidia do its thing today. We'll see what happens. We're going to have to watch it intraday. AMD has a little bit more of a level that we can play off of. So I'm watching AMD maybe a little bit closer, and this is why. So AMD, here's the daily chart, and you guys can see this 98-100 area is what I would be watching. You got 98 supply here. You got 98 support here. You got 98-100 support here. You got some 98 supply here, 9800, 98-100 supply here, right? You have a lot of tests at this 98 and 100 psych level. So if we go to the 5-minute chart, look at where AMD is starting to reject this morning. You guys can see right now, we are starting to reject this 98-100 area supply. So am I comfortable going long into this? No. Knowing what's on the daily chart, I'm not going to try to long into this zone. So again, on AMD, I need a pullback. Maybe to this 96.50 level, previous day highs, I'll watch that. Or I would like to see if it can come back to this 94.50. All right? So I need a pullback on AMD. The same way I need a pullback on Nvidia. I am not going to long it into this supply between 98 and 100. All right? So, moral of the story, guys, just trying to be protective. I know I might sound a little bit like not getting aggressive, not trying to make money or what. I don't know how to state this, but NVIDIA, AMD, I would be cautious on today. I know there's going to be a lot of emotion in those. Those are high flyers, but just be a little bit cautious. Wait for some pullbacks on those things. I think you'll get them. All right. So, Tesla. I'm a little bit more interested in Tesla today. So here's the hourly chart, and 186 is a big-ass level here, and I want to see if I can get a break and hold over 186. So you guys can see right here, previous low 186, 186 here, 186 here, 186 here, and again 186 here on Tesla. I would want to see if I can get a break and hold over 186. I think you got some room here. Tesla did not move that much yesterday. If it can get over that 186, I think there's room. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. On the flip side, for the downside, I am watching the 182.50 demand. Right, 182.50 was some previous major supply on Tesla. We tried to get through this 182.50 multiple times. Rejections here back on Tuesday, rejections on Wednesday, and rejections yesterday before we got that big squeeze. So I'm either going to look for that demand hold of 182.50 today for an upside into 186, or I'm going to look for a break. Oh, damn it. Break for a move over 186, or, right, you can even look for a supply rejection of 182.50, right? You can even look for that supply rejection of 182.50 for downside. But we'll have to see what the market shows us today. Apple, big triple top here on Apple. This could be a pretty interesting level to play off of as well. So let me go to the hourly chart. Let me get a little bit more time here for you. You guys can see right here. This is not very hard to see. I would hope it's not. You can see rejections here, rejections here, rejections here, and look at what's happening this morning as we speak. Right? Look at this rejection at 156, 156.30 area, triple top. Really now it's a quadruple top. So big time supply up there. Are you going to buy calls into this supply? I sure as hope hell not. I sure as hope not. I would say it was a combination of I sure hope not and hell not. Hell no. So no. The answer is no. I'm not buying calls into 156 supply. Buying calls into a quadruple top just doesn't sound like my kind of Friday. So to go upside on Apple today, you're going to need to see a move over 156.30, right? You're going to need to see a move over that and a support above it for confirmation. Now, if you get a pullback, you could try that supply move back into that 153, right? You could try a supply move back into this 153. That is a possible trade today if you want to trade that downside. So 156 supply, big time quadruple top, and then back down to that 153. Yeah, it's an inverse head and shoulders on the daily. I saw it, but this is your neckline, right? You got to wait for that move. So yeah, inverse head and shoulder. I saw it. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder on the daily. It's a nice move. Let's get this move over 156.30. Let's get that confirmation, and then let's rally that thing higher. But we're not going to hope and pray that it does it, right? You get in today. Let's say you get in today. Apple could pull back to this level before making the move, right? You could be down. All right, let's say you take a next week trade at open. Oh, Apple's going up. It's an inverse head and shoulder. I know it for sure. Apple goes down 3% today. You're down 30% on your calls already before next week starts. So I would be the one that does not sit in drawdown, does not buy calls at the supply level, and just waits for it to do it. Wait for it to break, wait for it to confirm, and then you could get in long here and avoid any pain on a drawdown move. All right? Apple. That's Apple. Netflix. Big move on Netflix. This was sort of the move I was looking for, right? Really nice move on Netflix yesterday. We talked about this one yesterday in the live stream. So today, I'm looking at 307, 308 area right here on Netflix. Does this turn into a new demand? All right, you can see we held this 300 level yesterday. We got above 307, 308. And let me just show you something real quick. What is that? This level does not move on my chart for like 3 days. Look at this reaction yesterday on Netflix. I mean, it does not get any sexier than that. 307, 308 really. And that is the previous, that 308 level is this previous low right here. We perfectly retested that and pushed to the upside. So today, does it hold that 308 again? Does it hold this level? If it does, maybe there's another long into 316. If it loses 308, then you're looking maybe back to 300. All about 308 today on Netflix. I would watch that level. Microsoft. Huge move on Microsoft. Once we broke this 260 channel, it was off to the races. I mean, once we broke this channel at 260, it was just a straight up rally. Look at yesterday's hold of 265. Previous high here into a perfect hold on the 4 hour. back above this double top high right here at 275. I have an alert there actually. So what am I looking for today? I am looking for a pullback to 275, right? If we go back to the 180 day, we can look at this, right? What are we looking for? We're looking for a retest of this double top high. If we look for this retest, if we hold here, we could set up another upside move. So we need to look for that pullback. Look for pullbacks to 275 on Microsoft today. See if that holds. But you also just be a little bit cautious of this supply up here around this 280, right? Supply up here around 280. Watch for that. 275, 280. Those are the levels to watch on Microsoft. Google retest was a thing of beauty yesterday. We were talking about this in the live stream on the live trading yesterday. This was just an absolute textbook break and retest yesterday. One of the cleanest I've seen. One of the cleanest I saw yesterday. So we had a previous major rejection level at 97.50. Let me go to the hourly chart. You'll see this a little bit better. We had a previous major rejection level at 97.50 on Google, right? So right here, right around this 97.50, we were rejecting this in the past, right? We rejected it here, we moved lower. We were rejecting it a little bit here, and then yesterday, we got above it. Now, 1 minute chart, right? Unreal. And I know you guys caught this in the Discord. Some of you guys were calling this out before I even saw it. All right, you guys were saying, hey, look, 97.50 retest on Google. This looks good. And it sure as hell does. So, yeah, awesome. This confirmation candle right here at 97.50. Look at that wick right there. That's all you need. Nice retest of that previous high. Little wick right off of it. Nice little confirmation candle. Long it here. You're risking about 10 cents on the underlying. Who gives a shit if you lose, right? And you're playing it for the break and retest long. I mean, this is literally, if you held the whole trade, this is like a this is a 10-cent risk for a $3 gain. Was that like I don't even know what that is, 30 to 1? I mean, that's just insane risk reward. So I know some of you guys caught this one yesterday. This was sexy. Break and retest of the previous channel high. 97.50. That was awesome right here. Congrats if you caught this one. Now today, right? Now today, you're at the supply level, right? You're at the supply level now, right? Rejection. 101. Big time supply rejection. So, I'm not trading Google unless it does this or it does this. Right? Either a break and hold above these highs for upside or a pullback to that 97.50 for a demand hold. That's what I'll be looking for today on Google. Not so sure I want to trade it into the lows just because I'm not so sure how far we pull back today, so I'm not as confident on that. I would rather look to see and wait for that pullback to see if the sellers get tired at 97.50 and then see if there's a little demand bounce off that retest. That's sort of what I'm looking for on Google. Big move on Google yesterday. Don't want to be the first to short that push. So I'm going to look to see either a push over 101 or a retest of 97.50. All right, last one I got for you today is Meta. And I'm sort of eyeing this 202 area on Meta. So Meta has held some nice retest levels. Meta has been doing this for some time now. It's been continuously retesting some key levels over the past few days. So right here, I'm actually just going to delete this. Right here, we had a pretty decent retest, excuse me, of this previous high, right? Right there, 195, 196. We retested it yesterday and we held on, right? So today, we're sort of holding, we're not quite holding yet. We're sort of holding this area between 200 and this 202. So I'm sort of eyeing these previous highs here, around all this consolidation here, all these previous highs here. I'm sort of eyeing to see, does Meta want to retest and hold this again? If Meta loses 200, I think that play is probably unlikely to happen, but that is something that I'm going to watch today. Meta has been very strong. It's continued to hold retest, right? Look at this. Retest, hold, retest, hold, retest, hold. I'm looking to see if it does it again. And if it does, I think this can really push. The reason for that, if I go to the daily chart, guys, and I look at Meta on the daily chart, there is really not much rejection points here on Meta. If we start to really push here today, I mean, there's really not much until like this 225, this 230 area. This is sort of starting to squeeze here. So I'm a little bit more interested in the upside here on Meta, seeing if that retest holds. Not much rejections up here, and to be quite honest, who the hell knows? I mean, there's a huge gap up here. Who knows what Meta does? So a lot of shorts are, getting squeezed out of this one. A lot of shorts are like, all right, it's time to get out. I'm taking my profits. Meta's starting to push. Really strong squeeze got happening over the recent few days. So I'm sort of looking to see if this one wants to continue. I know Meta's had some juice, and I'm going to see if this little retest wants to hold on today for more upside. Let's see what happens there. All right. 1,600 people, 500 likes. It's just, it doesn't change, man. It doesn't change. Those likes are hard to come by. If you think I deserve a like today, if you like some of the levels that we talked about, if you come to the live stream on a daily basis and you still don't like the live stream, I would really appreciate if you could. That would be really nice. That would be very helpful to the channel. And I'm going to need at least somewhere close to 1,000 here. We're going to have to get at least somewhere close to 1,000 here before we continue. I'm going to take a sip of water. I'm going to wait. No grid. Just go to appearance and turn off the grid. Right here. Appearance. Turn off the grid. Let's get some likes going. XLE, Coinbase, FedEx, PDD, FSLR. XLE, Coinbase, FedEx, PDD, FSLR. That's what we're about to go over. Oh, damn it. What did I do? I just deleted everything. Oh, there we go. All right. Yeah, we're struggling. We're starting to hit some supply here. We're starting to hit some supply on the likes. We are struggling. Hey, Benjamin Baker, 1999. I always appreciate your videos. They are money. Thank you, Benjamin. I appreciate that. I have a ton of videos about confirmations on break and retests. Just look at my channel. Take the time. Go through the videos that I post. All right, let's go quick. XLE. Yeah, watch this 77 demand on XLE today. If it loses that, energy could continue lower. This 77 level is huge. All right, watch that. Coinbase, over that supply around this 67. I would watch out for this 72 supply next. Crypto is pretty strong this morning, so you might get a little push on it. 72 would be the level I'd watch here on Coin. This previous high right here. All right. FedEx, it's an earnings pop. You're coming into some mess of a price action. I told someone in the group this morning, I don't really like FedEx here. You guys can see you're just sort of moving into this mess of price action. You got to wait for a few days to see what FedEx sort of bases out there. PDD, complete channel. You need to get over like this channel high here around 98 for this to do anything. You guys can clearly see these channel high rejections right here. So you're going to need to move over that before anything happens here. And then FSLR, I would want to say downside, but I don't trust the energy. I don't trust the solar sector to go down because it's being propped up, right? Couldn't tell you. The only place I'd look for a trade is maybe a long off 181. I would assume it does the retest, but in what fashion does it do that? I couldn't tell you. Yeah, I mean, solar's just propped up. It has been for a long time, pretty much the last year. I would say it needs to lose to like 198 here for anything to the downside. I don't know. FSLR's in no man's land. I wouldn't get involved in it. All right, that's all I got. It's time for me to go. We did not hit 1,000 likes. Sad day. We'll probably hit it after. All right. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. I hope you guys do a good job of trading today. Watch those futures levels. Watch the supply. Watch the demand. Trust it. Don't try to guess what's going to happen. React to the levels as they start to trade. And yeah, that's all you can do. So stick to your strategy. Stick to your risk management. Stick to something. Come into the day looking for the exact same thing every day. Look for your strategy. Look to play it and get the hell out. Once you make some profits on the day, do not stick around. Get out. Have a good weekend. Go enjoy your Friday. Go enjoy your weekend. There's a lot more to life than sitting on the computer all day and trading, right? So, good luck, guys. Have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you guys back here on Monday. Peace out.
Yeah.